Welcome to the Bachelor Breakdown, where we break down the game of life.
Especially the games that men play.
I'm your girl, Erica.
I'm Ashley. Let's break it down. We are back for another episode of the Bachelor Breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are watching on YouTube, I have new hair.
It looks good.
It is something about a hair weave that I just have an obsession
Transformative.
with. It just, you know what it is? I can't really wear it in the summertime because the way I sweat is not okay. But it's something about the hair weave, honey, that just, I don't know, it just brightens up my day. And I do it.
Especially when it looks good.
Especially when it looks good. Like when
so
it's
good.
not, when it doesn't look good. Like, I don't do it like because I need to. I do it because I want to. It is something about hair. Like,
that is a good clarification. I'm happy that you clarified that. You have plenty of hair.
I have plenty of hair.
Plenty of it.
Just like, I love changing my hair. It's the fastest, easiest change I can make.
It's like doing your nails
in my life. Nails, it's like all the things, and it's beautiful. And I just love it. It's my favorite thing. So yes, if you're watching, I have new hair, and if you're not watching,
if you're confused,
go see it because I'm obsessed, and I think you will be too. But anyways, we are back with another episode.
Yes.
And today's topic comes from one of Erica and I's many conversations. We are busy women. We are women with a lot of responsibilities. And we were chatting one day, and I said, like I say to a lot of my friends and family, I need a fucking wife. And Erica had the same. She was like, oh my goodness, I just said this the other day.
I did too.
It's like,
I was literally saying, I wonder if I could like go online and not like, we're not talking about like we need a wife, like marry one. We mean that all the things that a wife is expected to do, the cooking, the cleaning, the organization, just the orchestrating
and the
one's
management
life, right?
of one's life. We
and
need
household.
we need somebody to manage our lives and all of the responsibilities in it, because we are so overly scheduled and pulled in different directions and have so many responsibilities that exist outside of our home. And on top of all the things that we have to do, we have a house to manage. And that really kind of like start making me question the roles, these societal gender roles that we have in our, nation of, well, what is all the things that women are expected to be and do, and all of the ways that women are convinced that we should want to be married and seek marriage and partnership. But what is it about a wife that we should really want to, being a wife, that what is it that we should really want to aspire to have? Is it partnership or someone's domestic servant? Like, if we say, as women, if we say we need a wife, what does that mean in our society?
For us, we're saying we need help, right?
Right.
We need someone to take the weight off of our backs and help us, right?
Right.
And so when we go back to these gender roles, you see a lot of times. There was a video on Instagram. I was, laughing. It wasn't funny, but I laughed at it because the wife's husband was upset because he said that she addressed him in a way that he didn't like. He said she was being mean to him. And she said, well, I'm so sorry I'm mean to you, but when I've asked you to help me with the children, when I've asked you to take out the trash or empty the dishwasher or even put things away, she goes, after I've bathed and gotten the kids ready and fed the kids, after I fed you, after I picked up and finally got myself ready, she goes, I'm so sorry after I've asked you to help and you have not, that you feel like I'm addressing you wrong. And then she went on to say, "You were really happy last night when," so I'm just saying, it sounded like she had reached it where she was like, she's exhausted. And I find, you know, as someone who's not married, I can't speak much to that, but I just know a lot of women who either live with their partner or are married. I hear the same complaints over and over again.
Well, yeah,
So,
so that's my question,
mhm,
and really something that I've been exploring and trying to understand is that if as a woman, I've said this for years when I was in a relationship and engaged with children and had a family, and even now that it's just me and my kids, like if my narrative is that a wife is someone that serves in a domestic capacity and manages the household and the mental,
mhm,
emotional, and physical labor of a household,
mhm.
that has to be what men think of
Oh,
the role of
100%.
a wife also,
And it
which
tells you the fact that as women, if we're thinking that, I mean,
that is exactly what men think and want. And I think that is the issue in a lot of marriages is that men are looking for someone to take care of all the things that they don't have time for. Like, yes, they want a house and yes, they want kids and yes, they want this family, but they don't want the responsibility of managing all. They don't want the work of what it
mhm,
takes to have those things, to have a house, to have children, to have a partner that you equally contribute to the relationship. And for a lot of men, they think, well, if I work and bring home money, that's my
mhm.
contribution to this family.
And that should be it.
And that should be it. And that worked in the 1920s, in the
Mhm,
1940s, in the 1950s, in the 1960s,
mhm.
before women could, you know, get credit
Yeah.
and buy their own homes and do all the things that they can
Mhm,
do now. But that system doesn't work today. And what I find is that a lot of women work outside the home just like men, but women are left with the sole responsibility of raising children and managing a household on top of working to earn a paycheck. And
mhm.
the weight of a man working outside the home and coming home and not contributing, that doesn't work anymore. Like
No, it
what
doesn't.
a man's role in the family dynamic of simply working and bringing home a check and coming home and doing nothing else, that doesn't work for women anymore.
Well, it's changed. The dynamics are different, yet the roles are still the same.
Exactly.
And that's the problem. It's too much to expect. And like I said, a lot of people say, "Well, you don't have kids, Erica. You're not married." I might not have kids, but I have a lot of girlfriends and like yourself, and I know how much work and I know how much effort it takes. And it's a job that
But
you don't get to turn off.
you have your own
So,
experience in this. Like
oh my
you
gosh.
work
I'm
like
s-
nobody else. Like you have so many things to manage and so much to be responsible for. You have like an incredible amount of responsibility in your career, and you
mhm,
do own your own home. You do have the
mhm.
responsibility of managing a house, and people don't
That is
understand,
true.
like, yes, managing a house, having a house is great and it's a blessing, but the amount of things to
It's a lot
manage
of
in
work.
that home and you're doing it by yourself, that
All by
is a
myself.
lot. Like
It
you
is.
just because you don't have children doesn't mean that you don't feel the weight of the responsibility of managing a home. Like, and having a partner, like think of if you had a partner who came home and did nothing and you were
Oh
out
my
here
gosh.
working your ass off
Well,
the way that you do.
that's why I feel really strongly about it for females because I know as a single female, like you said, it is a lot, especially owning a home. And like you said, there's always something you're managing, you're doing. And it's all on me.
Right.
So I can imagine how much stress it is for me. And I don't have kids or anyone else to have to take care of. Well, I have my 2 cats, my babies. But other than that, I can't imagine having the responsibility that I do, and then also having a husband that because if I'm in a relationship, I'm gonna wanna cater and take
Right.
care of them. Yeah, that's just naturally who I am.
Right.
So, that stress on top of children and meeting their needs emotionally and all the help that they need, and I could not imagine all of that on my plate.
No,
I
and
just
I just
it's
think, and
hard.
I think the expectation, like they feed women this. delusional expectation of, oh, women can do it all. Like, you can do it
If you're a
all.
strong
If
woman,
you're a
if you're a
strong
strong woman,
woman and you
you
are
can do it all.
determined, you can do it all and you can have it
Mhm.
all. And if somehow,
Mhm.
like, you can't do it all, or you admit, like, this shit is hard and I
Yeah.
don't want to do it all, like, somehow you're a failure or
Yeah.
less of a woman. And it's like,
Mhm.
that shit is crazy, but it's constantly what women are like spoon fed to believe about themselves. And
Mhm.
it's unreasonable to think that
Yeah.
in a society where, women's rights have been advanced, they're still not where I would like to see them. um,
Mhm.
but in our society, they even have a term for women that is the modern woman. Like, the fuck is a modern woman? No, we're just women who we've always adjusted to society and the norms that have been
Yeah.
set for us and the roles and the expectations of us. And a lot of men, like, want to coin women who are educated,
Mhm.
have high earning careers, who maybe don't want children, who
Mhm.
maybe don't want to get married, like, as these modern women. But it's no, we've made adjustments in our mindsets, in our ways of thinking and what we believe, because we no longer feed into the unrealistic expectation of women can have it all and we can do it all, and we should want to have it all, and we should want to have a high earning career and be a great mom and be involved in the PTA and present at school and
Mhm.
still
It's too
be
much.
desirable for our husbands, and
And still be kind and
kind
soft and
and nice,
feminine
yes, and caring
and
and
wanna
nurturing.
cook, and
Yeah.
I was, having lunch at, Haymarket, and I wasn't eavesdropping, they were just very loud, their conversation, and, it was I think they were probably, like, early 20s, probably, like, 21, 22. And it was like a group of young girls and guys. They were probably students, and one was like, "Well, when I get married, I'm not going to be cooking and cleaning." And the guys acted like that was unattractive, like she was, not feminine, and it wasn't a good thing. And I was like, it's really sad that um, these days a woman saying that she doesn't want to cook is considered not feminine, not attractive. You're not, a homemaker. And I was just saying it's so sad that these, gender roles are still happening.
They're
And I'm
still
even seeing it in a
It's
young
still being
generation.
carried on, and for whatever reason. And this is where I think education, and not just education, but like knowledge and knowing, not what to think, but how to think.
Hmm.
It's like, we're in 2023,
Hmm.
and so many men have the mindset of men in 1923, where they
Yeah.
feel like a woman should be in the home, barefoot, pregnant, serving them.
Hmm.
When the truth is that our society today is nothing like that. It's
Yes.
nothing like it was in the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Like, it cost an erroneous amount of money to live. So you almost have to have like two people in a
You have to have two
household.
incomes. It's
You almost
understandable.
have to have two incomes. So if you have two incomes and the man works and comes home and does nothing else to contribute to the house, but the woman has the responsibility of working, coming home.
Hmm.
She pays the same bills equally with her partner or husband or whoever. And not only that, but she's cleaning, she's doing the laundry, she's doing the grocery shopping, she's cooking, she's cleaning up after that. She's like making sure that the house is like has stocked and has everything that it
Hmm.
needs. And if they have
Yeah.
children, then that the children are somehow, they get to where they need to be and they have what they need, and they're going to the doctor's appointments and the dentist appointments and the school practices and plays. It's like, it's too much for one
It's way too
person to
much.
manage by themselves. And for men,
Hmm.
it's it's like I don't know. So I don't know if they have like a club where they meet up and they keep perpetuating these ridiculous
Hmm.
narratives, but it's
Hmm.
insane to me that they can't even wake up to realize that somehow they have to change how they show up in relationships and partnerships, and that
Mhm.
it's not the sole responsibility of women to take care and manage everything in their
Mhm.
lives, because that's what they're depending
100%.
on. And as women, we say we need a wife, then I
Mhm.
know exactly what men are looking for when they
Mhm.
want to get married, and it's not a partner, it's a domestic servant.
It's to make life easier.
It's someone to make their life easier. Yeah.
But as women, marriage does not make life easier. Marriage, in my opinion, I think it's beautiful if you could have that partnership with someone. I think that's like the ultimate gift you can have in life is that companionship. But unless you find that, it's just more work and it's a burden.
It's more work.
And
It's
I
like,
don't think people realize that's, that's
I
how
think
people
people
are
are
looking
still
at it.
operating under very limited
Yeah.
delusional narratives of how things used to be, which,
Yeah.
we can break down in our scouting report, like doing research on this topic.
Mhm.
What I found was that, it wasn't until 1923 that the Equal Rights Amendment was even introduced to Congress. And this right gave women the
Mhm.
constitutional right to work and get an education. So if you think about that, that's just 100 years ago. So you know how hard it is for people to change their minds about
Mhm.
anything.
Anything.
Um, Racism, all the things, but like women's roles in society, like
Mhm.
as we just said, the narrative or the idea of who women should be and how they should show up and how that should they, care for men hasn't changed. And it's been a
No, it
hundred
still hasn't.
years. So
It's
because
time to
like,
pivot, people.
yeah, but like, you know, back then, married women weren't allowed to work. So,
Yeah,
but we're still operating from
that same
that
place, yeah.
same
It's a
perspective.
deficit,
It's a deficit,
basically.
exactly. And,
Mhm,
one of the key reasons that women carry the mental load is really rooted in these traditional gender roles, which pan women for being the primary caregivers and responsible for managing everything. And all of this dates back to a time where women couldn't work. So these unrealistic expectations and societal norms, they always place higher value on women's domestic duties, um,
mhm,
rather than women as a partner in a relationship
mhm.
versus a servant. So
Yeah,
it's all rooted back into history. That's why I feel like women as women, we have to know our history. And it would be
100%.
helpful if men knew why,
Mhm,
women's
100%.
role in society hasn't been as highly valued as we would like for it to be. I would
Mhm.
like to think that I'm raising a male feminist. Hopefully,
Aw,
I am.
he's
Because
such a
I don't want,
sweetheart.
like, I want my son
Yeah,
to want to either be married or be in a committed relationship or date women because of he's interested in them, not what they can do
yes.
for him.
What
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, not the comfortability of what having a relationship can bring, but
Exactly.
like you said, more that connection and but okay, well, this is always my favorite section, our in-game adjustments. As someone who's dealing with, having to raise kids, and what do you think if you met the perfect partner? Would you, in my opinion, I would say it's best to have these conversations firsthand before entering anything about what do you see our roles? Like, how are our roles? How are we doing finances? Are we splitting them? Are we 50-50? Are we, how are we seeing these roles? And I think having that kind of conversation beforehand is what's gonna hopefully um, keep one from going down this road where one partner, whether it's a male or female, is taking on the grunt of the household.
I definitely think having conversations, if you are considering like dating someone or getting serious someone, and especially before you get married, like understanding a person's mindset, even being around their family and understanding their family dynamic, because you can learn a lot from people and just being around their families and observing.
That's very true.
So like, who's is the mom serving the dad? Is the mom serving the son?
Mhm.
Who's serving in the relationship, who has the responsibility of the cleanup after dinner, who's paying the check when you go out to eat. Like, a, I don't think enough women are taught how to observe and like
Mhm.
interpret information, because
It's true.
I'm always trying to learn the people that I'm around.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when
Mhm.
if you're dating a man and you're in a conversation, you're out with friends and you're chatting and you're having a good time, if he's constantly interrupting you while you speak, that's something to be mindful of. Like if he's um not open the door, if he's opening the door for you, if he's not opening the door for you, if he's walking in front of you, like all these things about men and women you can observe when you first start dating. um
100%.
and you kind of can figure the thing, you can learn a lot from people and what they think of women and a woman's role, just by talking, just by observing them. But also understand, and this is what a lot of women don't get to do, because they we leave our parents' homes and then we either have a short bit like stint in college, and then we enter into a relationship, and then we get into a partnership with someone and we share a home with someone too soon. So you have to understand what you want, how you want to show up in relationship. Do you want to care for someone? Do you what role do you want to be assigned in your relationship? So having the understanding, not just being who a man wants you to be, or fulfilling a role in his life, like what do you need in yours? Um, and then for like with the narrative, like women can have it all. How much of it do you want? I think a question that a lot of women need to ask is like, how much of a lifestyle do you want? How much of a partnership do you want? Like, what responsibilities do you want? Really understanding you and what you want in your life will help you understand the path that you need to choose and the decisions that you need to make and the responsibilities that come with those decisions. Because
And it's easier to pick the right partner because you
yes,
can find a partner that aligns with what you want and see for your life and the dynamics that you want in your relationship.
or if you want a partner at all. It's like,
That
because
too.
we are more advanced and women are earning more money and have, demanding careers, do you want
Mhm.
children or not?
Mhm.
Do you want to have
That's a
children
question.
with someone that, that you want to partner with, or do you want to have children on your own? We have options now as women, and you
Mhm.
don't have to go about things in the traditional way that women always
Mhm.
have. So you
No.
really get to be the captain of your own ship and steer your life in whatever direction you want. I think
Mhm.
more women are awakening to the understanding that they don't have to do things in the traditional way.
No. And I
Um,
think that really instead of, stressing yourself out about, if you're trying to figure this out and what's best for you and, I think you gotta look at it as this is such an amazing opportunity where we are right now with society where you can choose. It's not that you're not going to get looks or stares or people questioning you. That's going to be regardless of majority of things that you do in life, especially big things.
yeah,
But it's a really exciting time to really, you know, make your own path, make the decisions that are going to be best for you, that fit who you are and your lifestyle. It's okay to be different. It's okay to go against the grain. It's okay. And in my opinion, I think it's cool.
yeah,
I think it's cool to really trust and know who you are and know what's going to be best for you and what aligns best with what you want for your life.
yeah.
And I think that the more that people are true to who they are and their wants and desires, I think we're going to attract like minded, equally yoked individuals.
Hmm.
And I think long term, we're going to have those beautiful connections and relationships that are going to be long term, to really, in my opinion, just make life better and sweeter.
Yeah,
Because I don't want people to think that we're saying don't get in a relationship, marriage is horrible. I'm not saying that. I'm saying find the individual where you guys are on the same page.
yeah.
You
And
know,
if you're like,
take your time.
and if you are someone who does want it all at the same time, outsource. You don't have to do it all yourself. there's there's also this notion that women have to be the laborers. No, you
Mhm.
don't. You don't have to be to
Mm-mm.
labor yourself to death for your family. You can
No.
have a husband, a partner, kids, a amazing job, a beautiful life,
Mhm.
and help. Like
Mhm.
you can have help, and it's hard.
And it doesn't make you less of a
It
woman.
doesn't make you less of a woman, and it's hard for someone like me who is a
Mhm.
workaholic and I can
Mhm.
do it all and I can do it by
Mhm.
myself. Like that has been the most life-changing thing for me is asking for help, like opening to receiving help. For
Yeah.
the longest time, I had never asked for help. When it was offered, I'd be like, "No, I got it. It's fine."
Mhm.
And it wasn't until like maybe like 3 years ago when my friends would just be like, "Please let me help you. Let me do this. Let me
Yeah.
bring the kids home from practice for you." And then I started
Oh, that's
saying
so nice.
yes, and it's changed my whole life. Like people want to help you. People want to show up for you. You don't have to do it all
Mhm.
by yourself, and you just have
No.
to open to receiving help
Mhm. It's
so
true.
that you don't burn yourself out and work yourself to death.
No, because I mean, the truth of the matter is, if you break down, I know for you, like if you break down, Ashley,
Hmm.
you have 2 little ones that are needing you, so you can't. So you've gotta do what it is that's gonna keep you
Right.
efficient and
Yes.
happy and emotionally, so you can continue to be there for your kids. So you have to be selfish at times and make
Yes.
sure that you really take time for yourself. You really take time to respect your needs and
Yes.
be fine asking, like you said, for the help or outsourcing.
Yeah.
So,
And we know like that this is probably a really stressful time for women.
a lot of
It's the
people.
holidays and you might be feeling overwhelmed. So we just wanted to share our little thoughts
Yeah.
on needing help and needing a wife and what that means to people and what
Mhm.
that means to us. And
Mhm.
we hope you enjoyed our episode
Yes.
today.
I enjoyed it. Well, thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Bachelor Breakdown. Until next time, be you, do you, be
Bye. Love
you. Love
you.
you.
Bye.